Golden Globes happened a couple of days ago, right?
Mhm.
And I'm just trying to jump into this way too early. But
Oh, no. Absolutely. I think I'm just kind of dragging my heels because I didn't love it. Usually I'm anxious to watch it and I'm so excited and I just, what a drag. I mean, I thought the makeup was kind of frightening.
I saw some interesting
Yeah, and I
makeup
thought
looks.
some of the outfits were not pretty.
Okay, harsh.
And overall, I was just a little bit disappointed. And whatever happened to these ladies putting on these beautiful gowns and looking gorgeous? And I remember those times. They were like last year. And
well, I feel like recently it's not as colorful as it used to be. People tend to wear like whites, blacks.
First of all, I can deal with the whites. I can deal with the blacks. Those are usually stunning on the right ladies. Let's talk makeup, because I saw a makeup trend that was horrible. And I saw it on a number of ladies and I didn't get it. Red eyeshadow over and under the eye. And I was like, what on earth? Now, granted, you can see it in Vogue, you can see it in the fashion magazines, and it's like kind of cool to look at because it's different, it's artsy. But on these ladies, it made them look ill. I mean, they looked sleep deprived, sick.
I want to know if any of you guys have tried red eyeshadow. Because that would be interesting to find out. I tried to do like the whole trend where people were matching their blush to their eyeshadow, and it was not working for me.
The thing is, if you want people to think you've had
just been crying. That's
yes.
what it looks like. I had just been crying because I get the red. Well,
or an allergic attack, or not enough sleep. Then by all means, get your red eyeshadow. And I don't understand why it's a trend.
It's funny because the first person we're going to do today is Reese Witherspoon. Now, she didn't have the bright red, but she did have a red undertone in her eyeshadow. So we're going to take a look at what that did to her. And she's in the wrong season. So it did not work too well for Reese in the Golden Globes.
And the other thing that I noticed that I thought was kind of unfortunate. Now, all of you know that I'm a huge fan of the color gray. I just love it because you can make it more colorful by adding accessories. I love it,
and it pairs with everything. It's almost like a denim. It goes with every single
It's a
color.
nice neutral, especially for a summer like myself. So I love it. But gray was the color of the Golden Globes, like silver, and there were springs wearing it. There were autumns wearing it, and it was not their night. I was aghast. And I was thinking, okay, last year, was it the Academy Awards or the Golden Globes? There was a lot of gold. And for, the Golden Girls of those award shows like the J-Lo's and some of the really golden blonde, rich browns, it was beautiful. So why did they suddenly get into silver and gray?
I don't know, but I guess we should start off with Reese and she wore white, so it wasn't even a gray. But let's see Reese. So on the left, we have her in the white, which is what she actually wore. Now, I'm saying that Reese is a spring. She has that yellow in her hair, or the yellow undertones in her hair. But I have seen her switch to summer. It's like her hairdresser decided to strip all of the red and gold out.
Yeah, absolutely. And she does. Sometimes you see her hair and it's summer hair, and sometimes you see her hair and it's very much spring hair. You'll see a lot of gold highlights in her hair and lots of gold in her hair, and she will be golden. But other times you will see that her hair is ash blonde, and she'll be able to pull off the summer.
So when we were talking about that red eyeshadow before, I'm not sure if you can fully see it, but it has a red undertone to it, which I'm not loving. I didn't love her makeup here. I thought if they wanted that smokier eye, I wouldn't have done any red in there, just because it does make her look like she was crying a little bit. That's kind of the vibe I get off of this. Also, the white is not doing anything for her hair. I mean, you're not seeing any of that contrast, the gold that, whenever I think of Reese Witherspoon, I think of somebody like bubbly and peppy because she's usually in her season. Like I see her in yellows and I see her in corals all the time. So we took her from wearing white and I added a ton of yellow to the color, and I added some pink in there as well, just to make it
melon. I'm almost like seeing a melon. It's still really soft, but her skin tone just comes alive in this color. And even her hair looks, in the white that she wore, her hair actually looks brassy.
It does.
And I believe that when you wear a color that makes your hair look brassy, it is less classy. It's less brassy. It's not classy. It's just less elegant.
Right.
So when you get into your right season, if you have gold tones in your hair, then the brass kind of just disappears. And so often I hear people say, "Oh, my hair looks brassy." Well, the moment you get them in the right season, you don't hear that complaint anymore.
Absolutely. So I also want to mention I changed her lip color as well before I forget. I added some yellow and some pink to it just to kind of give her a little more than what she was already wearing. She was wearing like a pale pink to go with. Now, if she had no yellow in her hair or gold in her hair,
if it were ash blonde,
she would have looked stunning. But I just it almost went a little green for her. Maybe the lighting, or I'm seeing a little green in the white. But when she wears that coral, it really just, once again, harmonizes everything together. She has the saturation.
And I know that we make a big deal of this all the time, but look at her jawline. A woman as beautiful as this, look at how the wrong color pulls her jawline down. And then when she gets in the right color, you see a lift under her chin, a lift in her jawline, a more sculpted shape to her face. It's absolutely magic that this happens.
Now, so the next person I have is, I guess we can do Priyanka Chopra. Should we do her?
I'm so impressed with the way that you can actually say her name.
Well, I have been trying to say it for a while now, and before we went on here, I YouTubed a bunch of award shows that she was on. So it's Priyanka Chopra. Well, now it's Jonas, so it's actually because she married Joe Jonas. So it's Priyanka Chopra Jonas. For anyone out there,
say that 3 times fast.
I am not doing that. But once again, on the left is what she wore, the color she wore. And this is kind of like a bubblegummy.
Pepto-Bismol is the thought that I had.
Mine is all cheerful and happy, and you're like, Pepto-Bismol.
Hey, I'm in my 60s. What do you want?
So all I did was I took the dress and added black to it. That was it. So from the picture on the left to the picture on the right, I took that dress and just added black, which means,
color.
I deepened that Pepto-Bismol to more of a
richer, berry, plum damson kind of color. Which, if you look at her hair, if you look at the contrast in her skin, just kind of move your eye over the hair, the jewelry, the face, then it hits that dress. Now, if she were walking in a room, what would you see first? Pepto-Bismol. Or bubblegum, depending on your age. So once Sarah made the adjustment on her dress color, what do you see? You see her face.
Absolutely.
You see her jewelry. You see her.
I see her hair. Her hair gets rich. Like right where it's meeting that plum, it's getting really rich and contrasty. I love that. But on the left, it kind of like brassy. I get that like haze and
brash. Yeah, it's it looks less classy. And I guess the word for today is class, because when you're talking about dressing in your season, there are so many advantages to knowing your colors, to getting your colors right. And, not only do you look younger, do you look more beautiful, you look more classy. And it continues to blow my mind that these celebrities have access to the most expensive clothing, the most famous designers, the best stylists in the world. And they make choices for these beautiful women that diminish their own beauty. And I'm blown away by that. And every one of you out there who understands color knows exactly what I mean.
Now, as you say that, so you're saying these people have the best makeup artists and stylists, and all I did was add some black to the color of the dress to go from the image on the left to the image on the right. That was it.
Well, so, you're thinking in terms of Photoshop, but if you were a stylist, you would have chosen a dress with a richer, deeper color for her that matches the richness and the depth of her hair and the contrast between her hair and her skin.
Those jewel tones.
That's right.
That's all she needed.
She needed some jewel tones.
All right, so I guess, let's go back to some of the comments. I saw some coming through. So, hey, Deborah.
Deborah!
Yes, red and orange eyeshadow have been a trend with, I know.
Why? Tell us why.
I don't know how people pull it off. I don't know. It's, I will never be able to figure that one out. Also, the lip color really pulled it all together for me. Oh, I believe that was for Reese. What a difference. Yes, the lip color really does. Just slightly switching that lip color makes all the difference in the world.
And it just goes to show you. Wait, I'm looking at myself and I have like this rooster tail. Sarah, you should have told me.
That's what happens when we have our, because we're looking at the celebrities, so we don't get to see ourselves. But then when we flip back on, we are always like halfway downing a glass of wine and then like just kind of sitting here like, yeah, look at this, look at that. And we're looking in the camera.
Our dream is, here I am, I'm going off topic. It's a new year, a new me, going off topic. That's not new.
No, that's the same old.
Look at this. It's doing it again. My dream would be one of these days to have all of you guys in a room with us,
that would be fun.
And be talking about these things. Because as fun as this is, can you imagine how awesome it would be to have like get rid of that tail on my head?
I like it. It's
all right.
It's fun. I like it blowing in the wind.
There's no wind. It's just sitting.
Oh, I love it.
Okay.
It's new now.
Cindy
every single video we're gonna have an alfalfa hair.
My dream is to have you guys in the same room. So one of these days, I would love to think about a convention or a group meeting where we can all sit together and have these kinds of talks.
That would be very fun, for sure.
Okay, got to do something else.
All right, so I guess we're going to go back to our last girl.
Yes.
So we'll flip over. Now, before I say this, I want to bring your attention to when a color walks into a room before you do. This is like the definition with the next person we're going to bring up. So go to the left.
You know what? We get it. There it goes again, that thing on my head. We get it. We know that celebrities like being the center of attention. So there is a bit, these choices are made partially because something is eye-catching, and when they're on the runway with all these other amazing celebrities, they would like to choose something that's amazing and eye-catching. But please remember, when you make a choice of something that is so eye-catching that you disappear, you have done yourself a disservice, because you want eyes to be caught by you, not by your clothing.
All right, so here's the image, and it is Isla Fisher. Now, on the left, she wore a fuchsia colored dress, and immediately all I can see is that fuchsia colored dress.
Well, and then I see a very pale, waxy looking shoulder area that looks almost ill.
Right. She definitely gets washed out in this color for sure. And the lipstick again washes her out. She did pair her lipstick with her dress. So it's still not within the right season, but I wanted to give you the full image of her to explain how a color can walk into a room before you do. And that's the definition of that. But on the right, all we did was we gave her some yellow, we gave her some red, to really warm up that color. And we also did the exact same with the lipstick. And you have her in this warm red dress, and it just harmonizes all together. I mean, she even looks, look at her
skin tone, her shoulder. Suddenly, she's got color in the places she should have color. She looks healthier.
Her hair, I'm looking at how gorgeous and golden and red it is. I mean, what a difference just a color change can make.
Excuse me.
So, and I didn't move anything else. That was it. It was just her lips and her dress, and I switched it right over.
And let's face it, Isla Fisher is beautiful. She is a beautiful woman. Her hair is absolutely gorgeous. But what can you see of her wearing that fuchsia dress? What do you see?
I just see the dress. That's all I can see. And then I see her when I really examine the image. And that bush in the background and the red carpet.
Actually, I think you see the bush in the red carpet before you get up to her head and shoulders.
I know. I'm looking at, wow, that greenery looks so great. They must have done a great job on watering the plants. I mean, all right. So
what can you say?
I know. We weren't in love with the Golden Globes this year. I guess that's
and
it all together.
The thing is, bottom line, follow your seasons, because your seasons are all about making you look good. They're not about making a dress look good. They're not about you wearing a billboard that says, my dress is here, my sweater's here.
Maybe that's what fashion designers want, though. Maybe they want the dress to walk into a room before you do, so maybe that's why.
They have a vested interest in making that clothing be a billboard, for them. But the celebrities should know better. They should understand what makes them.
The stylist is what really gets me, is that stylists don't know the full theory of color and what it can do for someone.
But you do. And the more time you spend with us, the more little tricks you pick up. And and we want to give you all the information that we have.
Absolutely. So we are going to keep posting some before and afters from the Golden Globes. That's not all that we did, so keep an eye out, because we're going to keep posting a few. I think J-Lo, we're going to do her. I wasn't in love with the dress.
I mean, that wasn't so much a color issue, but a proportion issue. Right. It was like the weirdest thing I'd ever seen.
But also the colors didn't harmonize together. I thought maybe we'll have to
there
show
was
you
some
the
warm
post.
up top. There was like white, like she had on her slip down below. It was weird.
So we're gonna.
And if you guys saw it, take a look. Take a look at the photos from the Golden Globes, and if you saw something that you thought was wonderful, post it and tell us why. And if you saw something that was, post it.
I would love to hear your favorite and your least favorite. That would be a good challenge.
That would be awesome. And tell us why.
Yeah. So we'll see you next week.